My name is Hannah Corbin, and I will be talking about human trafficking. And here is my audience, Jessica Elaine Miller.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be doing a speech about what society needs, and I believe society needs more human trafficking prevention. And what human trafficking is basically the illegal trading in people for various few forms of slavery. It's basically modern day slavery. It's a public health issue that continues to affect many individuals and communities to this day. And human trafficking is covered in secrecy, which makes it very difficult to trace and bring to an end. And when it comes to human trafficking prevention, it goes hand in hand with educating the younger crowd and really anyone, and knowing the signs of human trafficking, as in the signs of trafficking victims and traffickers themselves. So when it comes to trafficking victims, it really is no single profile of them. They can range between any race, age, gender, national origin, religion, and even sexual orientation, which the LGBTQ is a massive group that is targeted for human trafficking. And although there is no defining characteristic of human trafficking, traffickers usually will look for victims that seem vulnerable or young or poor or looking for better living situations, and that is usually how traffickers will lure their victims by giving them false promises of either love, jobs, and, like I said, more stable living conditions. And so when looking for victims can usually seem withdrawn or show signs of physical abuse or even seem violent or dress inappropriately at certain places, maybe like school. And you can find victims anywhere in legal and illegal industries like hotels, restaurants, factories, farms, the drug trade. And you can easily find them, like, they can get in acts of prostitutions and brothels. So when it comes to signs of traffickers, traffickers can be anyone, and that's what makes it dangerous. They could be anyone, anywhere. They could be partners, family members, acquaintances, and even strangers. They could be people of power as well. They can really they could be pimps, gang members, diplomats, and even business owners. And despite popular belief, traffickers many people think traffickers are male, but due to statistics, there's many women that have been prosecuted as traffickers as well. And traffickers can vary, but they can be foreign or U.S. citizens as well. They could just really be anything. And they're really, when they choose their victims, they will also force them not only in sex acts, because human trafficking can be more than sex trafficking. It could be like forced criminal acts. They can involve a lot of organ donating. They can even forced labor as well. It could really do anything. They just force their victims to do anything. And so with knowing all these, we need to educate maybe get schools to more educate their students on human trafficking and the signs that I just talked about. But despite the signs, there's also a lot of campaign advocacies that go on for human trafficking, but as you can see, since it's still going on to this day, that really doesn't do much. And even despite many government statements claiming to help fix this criminal activity, really not much is being done because it's still happening any time, any day. And it can even happen like behind closed doors, like this could be happening in plain sight. It just affects everyone and anywhere. And the amount of loss and damage these criminal activities really just affects families and all communities deeply for the rest of their lives. The amount of psychological pain it can cause is really damaging, and it really needs to be put a stop to. So with the help of communities and law enforcement, maybe implementing more laws to help fight against human trafficking, we can all come together and put an end to these brutal crimes. And that is really all I have to say about human trafficking. So here's my audience again.